Hello, I'm Wojciech Strojkowski and welcome to Poland Daily. Today, Polish President Andrzej Duda participated in the inaugural session of the 73rd UN General Assembly. The annual general debate of the United Nations General Assembly takes place at the UN headquarters and is attended by world leaders to discuss global issues.
Together with the President, the UN Assembly is being attended by Krzysztof Szczerski, Secretary of State and Chief of the Cabinet of the President, Jacek Czaputowicz, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Joanna Wronecka, the Permanent Representative of the Republic of Poland to the United Nations, and Paweł Soloch, the Head of the National Security Bureau. The Polish President's speech in the general debate of the 73rd session of the UN General Assembly is scheduled for Wednesday. In President Trump's 35-minute speech, he also talked about Poland.
We defend many of these nations for nothing, and then they take advantage of us by giving us high oil prices. Not good. We want them to stop raising prices. We want them to start lowering prices. And they must contribute substantially to military protection from now on. We are not going to put up with it, these horrible prices, much longer. Reliance on a single foreign supplier can leave a nation vulnerable to extortion and intimidation. That is why we congratulate European states such as Poland for leading the construction of a Baltic pipeline so that nations are not dependent on Russia to meet their energy needs. Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. In Poland, the great people are standing up for their independence, their security, and their sovereignty. Many countries are pursuing their own unique visions, building their own hopeful futures, and chasing their own wonderful dreams of destiny, of legacy, and of a home.
A compromise between Poland and the European Commission on the Polish judicial reform appears to be some way off. Paradoxically, officials from Brussels, who are so concerned about the rule of law in Poland, don't seem as bothered about the fact that Polish judges are getting involved in the Civic Platform's election campaign.
The European Commission wants the European Court of Justice to deal with Poland's new judiciary law as quickly as possible. The Commission wants the ECJ to block Poland's law temporarily until it can rule on whether it has breached EU principles. Law and Justice politicians believe this is the EU enacting revenge on Poland for not taking in migrants, while opposition politicians believe it's the first step towards Poland being kicked out of the European Union.
It can't really be said that there are tensions between the Polish government and the European Union. This isn't tension anymore, it's a fight.
Wprowadzanie siłowe dublerów do Trybunału
Forcefully replacing people in the Constitutional Tribunal, picking law and justice nominees for the National Council of the Judiciary, and now a clear-out in the Supreme Court. This has all been done to give the ruling party more influence on the justice system, and only law and justice sympathizers and politicians think otherwise.
Politycy PiS-u sądzą inaczej.
Pani profesor Gersdorf, pierwsza prezes Sądu Najwyższego.
Małgorzata Gersdorf, the first president of the Supreme Court of Poland, is guarding the constitution and the law. The Law and Justice Party is going against the constitution and breaking the law. Imagine if you had a situation in the United States where the president says he wants to dissolve the Supreme Court. Nobody would accept it over there. In Poland, the government just decides to ignore the protests.
Nie ma zgody na to, to jest łamanie konstytucji.
To, co Komisja Europejska zrobiła,
What the European Commission did has come as no surprise, because everyone knows that there is a conflict that comes from misunderstanding of the situation in a country going through a transformation. How can the Dutch, Belgians, French or Germans who lived in West Germany know anything about the communist and post-communist system when they never experienced it?
komunizm, a potem postkomunizm, skoro jego nie doświadczyli.
Jarosław Kaczyński kilka dni temu mówił
A few days ago, Jarosław Kaczyński spoke of a hatred of our homeland, a hatred of our nation among some of the judges. That's why, in his view, this reform is necessary.
prezesa PiS konieczna była reforma.
The Polish government passed the draft 2019 budget today. Next year's income is estimated to be more than 387.5 billion zloty, and the expenses around 416 billion. If the estimates become reality, Poland will witness a record low deficit of approximately 28.5 billion zloty. The project will now go to the Parliament.
Bardzo dobry budżet na rok 2019.
The budget for 2019 looks very good. It's a budget that should satisfy a lot of social groups. Institutions financed by the state will obviously be happy. This means there will be pay raises for teachers, different kinds of inspectors, and of course the emergency services and the military. The budget represents not only our social policy but also the growth policy, which includes investments and economical development. We are simply a good, responsible host that takes care of his nation. I'm very glad that I can give our parliament a project for such a budget.
Wojskowych ten wzrost.
The new movie Claire, directed by Wojciech Smarzowski, comes out this weekend. The film supposedly shows the real face of the Polish church. Today, a press event on the upcoming movie took place at one of Warsaw's cinemas.
The movie Claire, Clergy in English, tells the story of pathology among the Catholic Church's priests. It causing a lot of controversy, and opinions about it are divided.
This movie really shocked me, but only because it was so boring. I expected something more sophisticated and intelligent, and what I got was anti-clerical propaganda.
For Mr. Bodakowski, a publicist for the Prawy.pl website, the movie likens priests to degraded monsters, and its format resembles Nazi films. Bodakowski emphasizes that the movie was created to play a strictly defined political role.
The aim of the movie is to ignite hatred among anti-clerics and the left wing against the Catholic Church. Anyone who goes to church and sees this film will reach the conclusion that it is shocking to waste taxpayers' money on such propaganda.
Jarosław Szczepaniak, one of the creators of the movie, thinks otherwise.
It's a very moving film which touches on very difficult and important subjects that are mostly swept under the rug but still exist in our world.
According to Filip Memhes from TVP.pl Weekly, response to the movie has been mixed. Memhes referred to the last scene, which is about self-sacrifice of one of the heroes.
The end of the film is impressive. It is very persuasive, politically too, because we have an allusion to Poland in times of communism. You could actually say that the Catholic Church has been compared to the Polish People's Party.
The priest, doctor and film expert Marek Kotyński thinks the movie is based and focuses only on the pathology of the church.
It is a very hard punch to the stomach. Someone could say this movie should be like that, but it deprives the audience of any hope that it will somehow be honest. Only the pathologies are shown, and the only honest priest leaves the priesthood.
The movie was also written about in the latest Gazeta Polska weekly newspaper by the deputy editor-in-chief Piotr Lisiewicz, who asked a rhetorical question.
Does any one of you know a priest pedophile? Nearly 100% of the faithful would say no. There is no possibility that those people would lie.
And that's all from Poland Daily. Stay with me after the weather for Poland Daily Business.